Hey everybody, this is the start of my vegan mukbang and Q&A. So right here I have original homemade veggie burger with some avocado, and I have cilantro lime corn and sweet potato dumplings, and then to drink I just have wine. This is all made by my brother, so just quickly recording by him. But I have a total of 10 questions. I didn't want to be too long. I realized on my first attempt how long the video would be if I did every question. So I'm just gonna do the first few that I have and I'm gonna start. So I'm not gonna name the people that ask the questions because I don't know if they want their name mentioned or not. So I'm just gonna start and just start with the questions. So the first question was, I have it right here because I'm recording on my phone. So the first question was, what's your favorite part about your business? My favorite part about my business, I guess, would be finding ways to satisfy and help people. I find it really fun when I can help someone feel better or heal through whatever I do through my smoothies or different herbs that I implement with my smoothies. One time I made a smoothie specifically for a lady who was not feeling well. I think she came down with the flu or something like that, and she was saying how my smoothie like made her feel refreshed and made her feel better. From the things that I was asked to put in it and stuff like that. So I think the favorite part about my business is to, I guess, satisfy people, find ways to satisfy people in a way with whatever I do. So yeah, let me start eating and taste it. It's good. Question: how do you stick to your food lifestyle when you can't get to the foods that are a part of it? That's the next question. So a lot of times I find myself not eating or fasting until I'm able to get to food that I eat. It's just a sacrifice that you have to make when you're starting a new lifestyle or you want to eat better, because a lot of times you will find that when you're at a meeting or you're at a function and they have refreshments, it's usually stuff that you probably can't eat or that involves like meat or cheese and just sweets and sugar and stuff like that, and you probably can't have it. So a lot of times if you didn't bring your own food, you just find yourself not eating and wait until you get home. So it just all comes a part of the discipline of the lifestyle. It just takes a lot of discipline, and yeah, you just have to be willing to sacrifice that part. That's my brother. He made some sweet potato dumplings, and that was some sage butter he just put on here, right? Okay. Yes. So, it's good. All right. So, to the next question: do you eat meat alternatives? How, if so? Yes, I eat meat alternatives because I don't eat meat, but that doesn't mean that when I ate it, I didn't enjoy like the satisfaction that I got from eating it. I just chose not to eat it because of my health reasons. So there are a lot of meat alternatives out there if you're trying to become a person who don't eat meat. And the number one, I would say the top meat alternative that people in I guess you could say health conscious community, a lot of meat alternative that they use is mushrooms. With mushrooms, there's different kind of mushrooms that provide different textures. For me, my top use of mushroom is to get a ground meat alternative, because I mostly use like it for when I make burgers or spaghetti and meatballs and stuff like that. But There are different kinds of mushrooms, like an oyster mushroom. I know people use that in place of like oysters. They fry them, they char grill them, and stuff like that. So mushroom, I would say. Chickpea, people do chickpea burgers and stuff. You can find all kind of recipes with chickpeas. Beans itself, like beans, people use beans as an alternative, like for a bunch of recipes. And like I always say, it's all about texture. So with different vegetables, you can play around with it, and you can find different textures that reminds you of a certain meat, and then you just season it to your liking. Season it just like you would season your chicken or your burger or something like that. Because if chicken didn't have the seasoning or taste, it wouldn't be as enjoyable. I promise you that. So yeah, just find the texture between vegetables, different vegetables. I had to do a thumbnail, but yeah, just find different textures. All right, next question. What's my favorite non-dairy milk? My favorite non-dairy milk is oat milk, and the brand would have to be Planet Oat. I'm not sure what all stores carry that brand, but I know in Laplace, if you're in Laplace, Louisiana, the only store that carries Planet oat milk is Winn-Dixie. Walmart doesn't have it. Matherin's doesn't have it. None of those stores have it. Only store I've seen have it is Winn-Dixie. If I'm wrong, then let me know, but I've been all over to grocery stores. I stay in grocery stores, and that's the only place I've seen Planet oat milk. So yeah, that's my favorite non-dairy milk. All right, next question. I'm gonna put this like right here. What are good starter meals for someone who's interested in a healthier diet? And they put vegan in parentheses. Some good starter meals that I know of, like, I don't know if you mean like starter meals to cook or you mean starter meals to buy, but I'll just kind of reflect on both. So some good starter meals for someone who's trying to start a healthy lifestyle. Some things you can buy. There's a brand that is available in multiple grocery stores called Amy's. She has a variety of vegan frozen foods and vegan foods to cook. She has I've tried her rice cauliflower mac and cheese. That was good. She has like vegan enchiladas. She has I think she has like chicken patties too. So if you're ever in a store, you could look for her brand. She has soups and everything, and they're mostly vegetarian and vegan friendly. So you can look for her. She's a good starter. And also, if you're in the store, I guess you could say that's reasonable pricing is Morningstar. I've used Morningstar a lot. They have like a bunch of stuff that you would eat when it's frozen. Like they have like all of those kind of meat alternatives. They have burgers, wings, like little boneless wings. They have chicken patties, barbecue chicken nuggets. So all of that is meatless, but it's still frozen and foods that's in the store. So it has to go through some kind of process, but that's one brand that I know that has good ratings, and it doesn't contain soy either. So I eat that one. So and I guess you was like good starter meals to cook would be like something easy, because when you're vegan, I guess you have to really be careful with the ingredients that are in some things. Like it can't contain milk or dairy, and sometimes a lot of the ingredients that recipes that you may use may require milk and dairy and stuff. So you just have to be very careful. And the one I find easiest would be like a burrito. I do those a lot. I do like rice, beans, veggies with a tortilla, wrap it up, put some sauce on it. That's about it. The next thing I would find kind of easy to do would be the mushroom burgers. I actually have the recipe for a mushroom burger on my blog channel. I think I have a mushroom recipe on my blog when I had the healthy recipe blog. You can go check that out. So yeah, mushroom burgers, vegan burritos. Vegan mac and cheese isn't really that hard, but it takes a little time to perfect it. You can try that. Yeah, there's a bunch of recipes out there. One good source that I use, app that I use for a lot of stuff, is Pinterest. So check Pinterest and just type in whatever you're trying to start cooking. All right, next question is, I'm on a budget. Any recommendations for pescatarians? So with pescatarian, I just finished being pescatarian. I went vegan on last Monday. So when you're on a budget being pescatarian, that's a bit difficult because seafood is very expensive. And so because you don't eat meat, you'll find yourself buying a lot of seafood or stuff that has seafood. And those prices are always kind of like not budget friendly. So if you're pescatarian, I would say to mostly reflect on your veggies more, I guess, because like I said, crab and shrimp and all of that is very expensive. And the most budget friendly seafood I would recommend is fish, because the rest can be very expensive. Even though fish can be expensive, it's probably more budget friendly than the rest of the seafoods. So I would say, even though you're pescatarian and you still eat seafood, try to just make or eat things that contain more vegetables. And yeah, that's the best I could answer that. Alright, next question was, how do you get the vitamins and nutrients back into your body? Well, the quickest way, the best way to get vitamins and nutrients in your body is through the food that you eat. Supplements, vitamin supplements, and all of that, they're very good to take, but it's just not going to work if that's all you take and that's all you do to rely on your vitamins. If you're taking vitamin supplements and you're not seeing any progress or anything happening, that's because you probably aren't eating vitamins rich foods or foods that contain things that you need, like iron, zinc, magnesium. And I mean, the best way to get it is through your diet. Just find foods, like say you're taking vitamin K supplement, find foods that has a lot of vitamin K. Just like double up on it, like take the supplement but also eat the food that has the vitamin. So that's the quickest way to get it back in your body. Drinking certain things like sea moss, I know that carries like a bunch of minerals and vitamins, so I recommend looking into sea moss and just taking it seriously. Just if you really want to get everything back in your system and make sure that you have all the vitamins you need, eat them. So yes. All right, and my last question that I'm going to answer, because I'm really limited on time today. I'll probably do a part 2 to this video if y'all would like to, but I'm already at like 14 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to. Oh Lord, he wants me to talk about how the food tastes, y'all. It's really good. That's what I'm Let me talk about it right after I answer this. Alright, so the last question I have is, what is a good substitute for meat for someone who's trying to become vegetarian? I kind of reflected on that earlier when someone asked, do I eat meat alternatives? So, like I said, good substitute for meat is to just play around and experiment with your vegetables and different foods, and just find the right textures that you would like to put in place of the meat that you're trying to eat. So yeah, vegetarian, I know you can still eat like cheese and stuff like that, so it really should be hard to kind of like refrain inspired, and he kind of like did a remix on it. So in the burger, it's broccoli, carrots. Like, see how we say burger with vegetables strictly? It's broccoli, carrots, mushrooms. Cilantro, and I think it's about plus your onions and your seasonings and garlic and stuff like that. So that makes a really good burger. Another thing, when you're cooking with things that are not meat, and you're trying to make a good form for your like food, like for a burger or something, you might have to like start the day before when you cook, because some stuff may need to sit overnight or sit for a few hours to be able to get a form. So yeah. And then I have these sweet potato dumplings with sage butter. I've never had sage butter before, but this is the sage butter. I mean, this is the sweet potato dumpling. And this is the corn. The corn he fried it down or sauteed it down with cilantro and lime juice, and probably something else. You never know with him. But if y'all want the recipe, all of this, just let me know, and I will put you in contact with him. So this food is so good. Well, that concludes this video. If you like the part 2, I'll probably do part 2, but thank you for watching. Let me drink something because I haven't drunk nothing on this video. Horrible. But that's it. Thank you for watching and tuning in.